Hey, welcome everybody to Plumbing with Tim. Today I'm going to go inside a customer's house and I'm going to attempt to show you the best way how to replace a Moen Positemp cartridge in a shower. Positemp, it's got a funky handle. I had to take the screw out from underneath there. You can see or not. It's tricky to get an Allen wrench in there. Now it's time to go outside and shut the water off. This isn't really that old of a neighborhood, so it looks like it's got a decent valve. We're going to go ahead and cut off here on the side of the house without having to go to a water meter. The water's raining down in here. Kind of like I told you, but it's in a funky area. You see, I've got a good Allen wrench to get that thing off. So we're going to take the handle off. Next thing we need to do is take that screw out of there and remove this sleeve. There's the cartridge. This pin out of here. Be careful, you don't want to lose it in the wall. Just like that. Put that somewhere safe. Next, you're going to need a Moen cartridge puller. All right. Slide it in, turn your screws so it engages the cartridge. There you go. Turn your sleeve inwards until it stops right up against the cartridge, just like that. Now give you a pair of channel locks. Twist and pull. There she is. So the rubber's missing. And make sure to look up inside here, make sure there's no pieces or debris or rubber before you install your new one. Okay, so here is the new Moen 1222B Positemp cartridge. When you look on here, very top, it's an H and a C, hot and cold. So you want to make sure the H, when you slide this in, is on the left-hand side. Let's check it out. Now I'm going to have to get the cartridge forward to push that in. And make sure it's in there all the way and seated, just like that. Now we've got to put the pin back in there. You can go in there. Careful, you don't want to lose this thing in the wall. I have to finagle with it a little bit. There it goes. I have to get something to push that down in. These cartridges come with a little spacer to assist you trying to get the cartridge in, as well as push that pin far enough in. I'll show you how it works. Just like that. And take your cartridge puller, push that thing in and then push your pin down. Now your pin's in place. Take your spacer out, put your hardware back together. There we go, it's all back together. Now be mindful, not all Moens have these metal handles on here. So those little screws that go down in there aren't always very easy to come out. Calcium and stuff. So before you get started on this, if you can't get that out, you may have to drill that screw out of there. Make sure you got replacement parts before you get too involved. Let's take a look at our work here. The reason why we had to replace this is because she wasn't getting any hot water. Cartridge went bad. Now we have hot water. All right, success. We were able to change that Moen 1222B Positemp cartridge. Two things I failed to mention to you. First of all, when you have that old cartridge out, if there's a piece of the rubber that might be stuck up inside of there, don't go crazy up in there and start jagging around a screwdriver and gouging the inside of that valve, because you'll end up ruining that valve. Nice and easy. Like I've got these little picks and stuff. You can pick them up like at Harbor Freight. Got little deals to get in there and just grab it and pull it out. Or you can gently use a wire brush, but nothing that hard or else you will ruin it. Second of all, when you take your cartridge, your new one in there, you want to make sure, and I didn't show you when we put it in, I forgot, is to put some plumber's grease. See that? Some plumber's grease right along anything that's rubber, along these edges and stuff, before you slide that new cartridge into the valve. Oh yeah, another couple quick little pointers when it comes to these Moen valves. You're not always going to run into these metal handles. A lot of times you're going to run into the acrylic ones and stuff, all right? It's still got the same cartridge back behind there. If it's a Positemp, it's the bigger cartridge. The smaller ones are the push and pull, the 1222Bs. Also, it's not always that easy to pull one of these cartridges out. I just happen to get lucky. If you get to a point where you're feeling like you may struggle or something, stop what you're doing and call yourself a licensed plumber to have him come out and do that. If not, you might end up finding yourself without water onto the house if you mess it up. Hey, that's all the time we got for today. I appreciate you guys hanging out. Hopefully I was detailed enough to let you know how you could go about doing something like this. Remember, you're going to need to get one of those Moen cartridge pullers. You don't want to mess around with a pair of pliers and stuff like that and mess everything up. If you got any questions, hey, that's all the time we got for today, man. I appreciate you guys hanging out and watching this video. If you got any questions, please let me know in the comments down below. I try to be as detailed as possible. It's really tough to try to do these videos sometimes one-handed while the other hand's using the camera, and also while I'm live on location at a customer's home. Thanks so much for hanging out. Till next time, this has been Plumbing with Tim. Keep plumbing.